What is up? What is up? What is up? Good to have you on, everybody. My name is Phil Nagy. Nagy on Sports is the channel, and it's time for more simulated college football playoff here at Nagy on Sports, which is the channel. Game not nearly as fun. Fiesta Bowl not nearly as fun as if our Ohio State Buckeyes were playing into it, especially with the opponent, Ole Miss. I feel like we would have matched up particularly well with them. Everybody assumed it would be Ohio State and Georgia, but that's why they play the game, certainly. Congratulations to Miami and Ole Miss for each getting the job done in this one. Again, we are having to run it out of exhibition mode, sadly, which means that the game will take an extremely long time if we do it. So instead of doing just the fourth quarter, I have decided that we will do the first quarter and then the fourth quarter and see how that goes. Just because sometimes the game can already be over by the time that we get to the fourth quarter. So we'll see how it goes. Cutscene here. Looks like the roof is closed in Arizona here at the Fiesta Bowl. Appreciate everybody being on. Thank you again to all of my subscribers. You guys are the very, very best. Appreciate you being on. And let's get this one kicked off. Ole Miss from in their end zone. A big tackle to the right at the 15-yard line. Trinidad Chambliss. Again, kid from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Started at Ferris State before transferring to Ole Miss. And this kid has just got guts, moxie, all of those things that the quarterback people talk about. Not sure if he'll be an NFL player, but he's a very, very good college quarterback. And he is a weapon next to him in Kewan Lacey and a couple of talented receivers as well. The play action to Lacey, and now Chambliss will fire on a drag route across the middle, and the first down is caught by the receiver. And that's actually the tight end, Daquan Wright, one of his most talented receivers. Wright will be drafted certainly as well. Alex, welcome in. Welcome in, Emmanuel. You don't think it does? I thought that it did close, but maybe I did. Maybe it doesn't. Well, it's supposed to be the Fiesta Bowl. I said it to the Fiesta Bowl. I know it's got the field that slides out under the sun. So yeah, so it's just a straight dome then, which makes sense. It's a dry heat, 105 in the shade. My bad, but it does have the field that slides out to get its sunlight. But I appreciate you being on. Emmanuel, thanks for joining us. Pressure coming, and just like they did against the Buckeyes, the D-line gets home. David Blade Jr., the one to get there that time. And again, Ole Miss's line, not even as strong as Ohio State's across the board. They've got a couple of players, at least ratings-wise, in this game. Ruben Bain all over that one as he got past Diego Pounds, that left tackle quickly. And a 3-and-out for Pete Golding's team. He was the defensive coordinator, elevated to the head coach. Again, some of Lane Kiffin's staff that's going with him to LSU is still remaining, including the play caller Charlie Weiss Jr. Yes, that Charlie Weiss. And kind of an interesting situation. I think it's also interesting that LSU is paying Lane Kiffin bonuses for Ole Miss winning, which is wild. So he made like $400,000 last weekend while he sat on his couch and watched Ole Miss win. What a racket. Weird rules, but lack of rules, but need for rules. Carson Beck, his first throw of the game is a slant to the left side to CJ Daniels. And Daniels picks up 3. And the cutscenes. It's the reason that we're not doing the whole thing. Man, that Ohio State sim with Miami was almost an hour and 45 minutes. That's just crazy. So we'll do the first quarter and the fourth quarter here. At least we'll see how it gets into it. A little bit less crazy than showing up late. Mark Fletcher, and only had TFL in the backfield that time. Big defensive lineman got in. That's Jamarius Brown, redshirt sophomore, for your Ole Miss running Rebs. I do want to know when they got rid of the running part of the running Rebels. They were the running Rebs when I was a kid. 12:38 to go, first quarter. Phil Nagy on Sports, 3rd and 10 for the Hurricanes. Beck backs to pass. Blitz coming. They'll quickly throw to the right side. He's got it for a first down. Keelan Marion all the way down 22 yards. and a first down for the Hurricanes on offense. Carson Beck, again, the transfer from Georgia, probably thought he was going to be playing Georgia, to be honest, and then he didn't. Keelan Marion on the other end of that catch for a first down, 1st and 10. Offside throw, dump it short. This is his tight end, Alex Bauman, and Bauman's got a first, nope, not a first down. They'll say 2nd and inches coming up on a 9.5-yard gain. The tackle on the prey by Princewell Umanlian. Talented pass rusher, Princewell U. We'll just call him Prince U. Uman Milan. Alex, that's a good question, and I probably should have an answer for you. Mark Fletcher going to get a couple, including the first down there. That's -1 in the game. We will not sim Browns and Buckeyes again until their collective championships are finished, because we have to have the roster, we have to have the draft orders, and I want to make sure I get the correct national champion for the college, and then we've got to go through the portal and all that stuff. So those sim seasons will likely not start until February. Until then, we're firing over the middle on a first down for Marion. Again, now 1st and goal for the Hurricanes. Until then, I will probably do an occasional catch. I almost simmed the Cavs today, but I figured I better get these college football playoffs out of the way. So we'll do some Cavs, maybe a little Blue Jackets as well. Again, I've had a request to sim some FIFA, so I'm going to try to, I did like a test run on that yesterday to see how it worked. So we'll randomly sim some other sports while we're waiting for the off seasons, and then we'll do our virtual off seasons. This is the way we always do. We'll play Browns general manager and build that team up especially once we know who the coach is. And then we will already got a really nice recruiting class for the Buckeyes in this game, and we'll hit the portal hard to fill the holes as well, so that we can continue to make sure that we dominate. So that's a little bit about what the future of the channel looks like. When I have some specific things, I'll try to let you know. Back now, across the middle, drag route, touchdown, Malachi Toney. We know that the kid is special. He wasn't game-changing against Ohio State, but he had some pretty good plays overall, and certainly somebody that Ohio State had to account for every time he was out there. Sensational freshman Malachi Toney. Into the end zone, and a touchdown for the Hurricanes. They'll start the game with a score. Alex, I appreciate that. It feels like the ultimate compliment. But I'm not enough of a football guy. I'm not enough of a football guy to satisfy the fans, and I'm not an analytics guy either. I'll be like, I'm just going to build my team based on good Madden ratings. Get laughed at for that too, probably. Yep, different Tony. Spelled the same. I wonder if they're related, actually, Malachi and Kadarius. That's a good question. All right, 7-0 here. First quarter of the Fiesta Bowl. Phil Nagy on Sports joining you for this one. And thanks to all of my subscribers for joining me here today. Really appreciate you being on, giving us a few minutes of your day as he tries to spill to the outside. Kuwan Lacey, and nowhere to go. O.J. Frederick Jr. over there as well. Mohamed Toure, the middle linebacker, was there. A lot of players meeting Kuwan Lacey. Very, very talented running back, Lacey is. And I just saw that he's going to come back to Ole Miss, which, again, seems crazy that you have the transfer portal open while these guys are still actively playing games. It makes zero sense to me. Left side throw, a little screen, a little bubble screen for a first down and more. Harry Wallace, Trey Wallace, they call him, Harry Wallace III. And Wallace is a transfer from Penn State, and he's got himself a first down, a little run after catch. So Chambliss able to help his team pick up their first down of the day. And I'm not sure why the Miami sideline is pissed about it, but a little upset about it. Oh, well, I appreciate that. Left side run to the outside. Kuwan Lacey. I also have to turn the salary cap off. In the game, I have to turn the salary cap off. And I don't take advantage of it and just sign all the guys, but because I don't have the cool cap flexibility that he does, especially with like Deshaun Watson's deal, it just eats up the entire salary cap. RPO to the right side. Stribling on the catch, and he'll be decked right away. Give him just a gain of 2. DeJean Stribling on that right side, and it sets up a 3rd and 4 for Trinidad Chambliss. Talk about your life changing, man. Ferris State, which I think is D2 or 1AA perhaps, I should look that up, comes to Ole Miss likely just to be the backup. Austin Simmons was their quarterback. He ends up getting hurt. Chambliss comes in, and they have been incredible with him. Now you see him, he's on T-Mobile commercials and stuff now, Trinidad Chambliss is, and again, getting mocked at the end of, 6th, 7th round drafts for some different people. This one, unfortunately, will end in a punt. And I was really surprised at how they came back against Georgia in that quarterfinal. I mean, really surprised, if we're being honest. Here comes Mark Fletcher up the middle, and he'll get a couple of yards. He gashed the Buckeyes in our sim with Miami, that really close sim. And again, the sim was right on. The Buckeyes won lost in a shootout, triple overtime in our quarterfinal sim, our official Nagy on Sports Cotton Bowl. That was a wild sim. But Fletcher ran all over, and then he got hurt for a couple of quarters, and then came back at the end and ended up scoring what became the game-winning touchdown. And he'll spin off a tackler and go to the 20-yard line where it sets up 3rd and 3. Over there to make the tackle, Anthony Robinson III, backup safety. Those silly cutscenes. That's why I do not like exhibition mode. I plan to not sim the whole game. I'm going to try to do the first quarter and the fourth quarter here. At Nagy on Sports. 3rd catch for Keelan Marion is for a first down. Miami right now is showing like they've got some juice to them. We saw how prepared they were for Ohio State. They came and punched Ohio State in the mouth, specifically on the line. And Ohio State couldn't really respond. We did go a little bit of tempo there, which helped. But at the end of the day, not enough. And now you got a long off season. Keelan Marion a little shaken up. That could be a big issue. So he had a very good game against the Buckeyes and has had a really nice game to start here. I certainly hope so. Having all those guys come back, like Julian Say and Jeremiah Smith, Bo Jackson on offense is a good start. They're going to have to replace a lot of defensive starters, but I like Matt Patricia. I just wondered who's going to be the offensive coordinator. Really, that was... We sort of dealt with it all season because they said that it was on purpose, that they were going very slow and methodically and didn't want to score quickly because they were trying to lengthen the season and get to the playoffs, and then they forgot to speed it back up when they got to the playoffs, which makes me think maybe they just were who they were. But, man, they're a football Ferrari. You got to get an offensive coordinator in here who's going to get them humming and take advantage of all their skill and take advantage of the fact that they've missed out on the 4 and 5 star guys on the offensive line. They haven't hit on a 5-star offensive lineman in years. They keep going other places because Ohio State's been unwilling to give these high school seniors $1 million. So you either got to do it with development or you got to do it in the portal or something. But yeah, you got to try to find a way, because it was clear. It started to be clear in that Indiana game, and then it was very clear in the Miami game that we were just not good enough on the offensive line. Carson Beck, left side throw. Alex Bauman to the 35, reaching forward, 3rd and inches coming up. Yeah, it could be. It could be a little Brady DeMoss. Would be kind of fun. Well, and that was the first thing that Urban did when he got here, Alex, he was like, we are not physical enough or good enough on either line. And so he recruited his tail off on the defensive line and the offensive line as Beck falls forward for a first down, and they keep the chains moving here under 4.5 by the time this next snap comes. And maybe they need they need to get back to some of that. Who knows? We'll see. It'll be a long off season. They still have some really, really good players, but they're losing a couple more guys in the portal maybe than I had anticipated, which never ends up being a good thing. They haven't really gotten anybody in the portal, although the number 1 edge rusher was in town today from the portal. He's from Ohio. He's at Penn State, which obviously has had a lot of turnovers. So we got a long snapper and a backup tight end, though. Hooray. Oh, and a D tackle from UCF. today as well. All right, here's Carson Beck, 2nd and 6. Tipped at the line, 3rd and 6 coming up. He was trying to go on a little skinny slant to his tight end, Alex Bauman. Unable to get it going. So yeah, I mean, it's not like they're dead in the water. I mean, it's not like rising from the ashes style. Like they still made the final 8. I just think that for the way that it looked and with the hype that the team had, that it was a failed season. And I felt like with this roster, it could have been Final Four or bust. Out route, deep one to Tony. 4th and inches as he kind of bounced off of his teammate. And it results in a bad spot. And we'll see what Cristobal wants to do here. If he wants to bring out his kicker or get that automatic yard that you can get. And they're going to take the points here with Bert Auburn. Yeah, kicker's top of my list too. Offensive line and kicker, the only 2 portal things that I would do. Now in my Sims, our Sim Dynasty, I actually recruited like the best kicker and punter, and said, "Hey, I'm using 2 scholarships on the best kicker and the best punter because, in fact, it's my only 2 3-stars in the class because they don't give them any higher than 3 stars." Oh, he called him Super Mario. Well, he was super that night against the Buckeyes, man. He whipped them. He had a really good scheme. 10-0. Ole Miss here in trouble potentially. Because again, they are not a high-flying team built to come back, except that's exactly what they did against Georgia. So maybe I'm wrong. RPO left side, and how did he catch it? Trey Wallace went up and snagged it out of the air. How did he catch it? I thought for sure that ball was picked. But Chambliss squeezes it into that hole. And it is a first down for the Rebels to the 44-yard line. They have not been on Miami's side of of the field. They're half of the field, in this game. RPO over the middle. Caught first down. They are now. Daquan Wright to the 35, the big tight end. Rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling his way into Miami territory. First down, Ole Miss. Torrey right there with him to make the tackle. Got that RPO. Actually could have handed it off as well. Lacey would have had some ground to gain. Right side throw to Kewan Lacey. Very talented running back. He'll wiggle his way to the 30 and pick up a gain of about 4 for Kewan Lacey. Gloriously sweeping across the landscape cutscene. Why? Why do you need to have that in exhibition mode? And 38 and counting. And hit as he throws his Chambliss. Third and 6 coming up. As the band plays Holst at the backfield. That's Mars, the bringer of war. Here's your classical music trivia for the day. By one Gustav Holst. Courtesy of this music teacher. Now Chambliss back to pass. Quick throw to the right side. Incomplete. Had a man on the out route, but put a little bit too much heat on it. And it went wide. And so Miami will receive... looks like they're probably going to try a field goal, I would guess. It'll be a 47-yarder coming up, which is exactly what they will try. How about this kid in the game, in real life, though? This Carnero kid was insane. It's funny to hear all the Buckeye fans saying, like, oh, we should get the kicker from Ole Miss in the portal. It's pretty funny to me. .125 and a 10-3 football game here in the semifinal. Fiend. Different than Holst. Right side, dump it short. And Keelan Marion appears to be back in the football game because that's his 5th catch. Left side throw caught by Daniels to the 40, to the 45, 50, spin move to the 40, to the 35, 30. CJ Daniels all the way down the left side of the 19-yard line. First down, Hurricanes. Big time gainer down the left side. They're inside the 20 with 32 seconds here. See if they're going to have the opportunity to punch it in. Back out of a shotgun. Fletcher up the middle. And he's having a hard time getting past big Xavion Harris there in the middle. Harris, number 51, big body in the middle of that defensive line. And this might take us all the way to the end of the first quarter. Well, because there's a good chance that's going to happen, Alex. He's a good coach. He's had a really raw deal here. Has not had a quarterback worth anything in the 6 years he was here. Short of the Baker Mayfield year. All right. We've made it through one. It's 10-3. We'll go ahead and fast sim and finish up the fourth quarter. Hope that it's still a game once we get there. Anytime. These cutscenes driving me crazy. All right. Second quarter of action, 13-3. So they ended up that drive with just a field goal now. Back and forth they go, 16-3. So Bert Auburn getting his leg a workout here in this one. Jumping to the next quarter now. (19-3). So all of the field goals happening. And now it's fourth quarter time here. Tempe, Arizona, State Farm Stadium, home of the Arizona Cardinals, in the Fiesta Bowl. And Miami ready to try to punch it in again. This one would probably close the door, but they have settled for 4 field goals so far. Fletcher is going to get in. Touchdown, Hurricanes. And they are starting to smell the national championship now. This is a winner, of course, waiting for them. They'll be guaranteed to play a Big Ten team, as Oregon and Indiana are the other semifinal. I plan to do that one for you a little bit later tonight, if my schedule allows. 26-3 might be a little bit too insurmountable. Again, now Chambliss had an incredible comeback against Georgia. Does he have another one in him? And this one would be incredible. Down 23 points. Technically still a 3-score game with 2-point conversions accounted for. Appreciate you being on. My name is Phil Nagy. Nagy on Sports is the channel here. College football semifinals, the Fiesta Bowl. Here comes Ole Miss, and they need it. They need to score, and they need to score quick. Chambliss looking at a 5-man line. They'll rush all 5 of them. Pressure coming. A little RPO after a play action. Right side throw. That's Caden Lee. He's got a first down. He's a junior, and he's up to the 35-yard line. And Ole Miss is going quick. What if I experiment? If you'll give me an opportunity, yes. Let me see. Good idea, Alex. I was just going to experiment with coach mode and see if it will allow me just to avoid the cutscenes more than anything. But to also get them into fast mode here. And then go quickly. So good idea. Oh, we switched sides of the field. So, coach mode, which is what Alex is referring to, is where I just call the plays and snap it. I don't actually play the games in any capacity. We're also going to go ahead and go fast. But gives them the opportunity to go no huddle a little bit faster. And we didn't have the cutscene, so why didn't I come up with this earlier? Hand it off up the middle. Uh-oh, left tackle Diego Pounds. It's going to hurt the opportunity to go quickly. They'll switch the sides of the field here. Chambliss in a shotgun once again. A lot of play action passing in this offense. Here's another one. And hit, nope, fired left side. Caught by Lee, left side. Caden Lee, first down and more. And now that gives them a chance to go fast. And they will go fast. Chambliss in a shotgun. Back to pass. Back to pass. Dump it short to Caden Lee, or excuse me, Kawan Lacey rather, on a screen pass that went nowhere there. So some hurry up, and we're already inside Miami territory. Now Chambliss back to pass. And now he'll take off. Ball pops out. Oh no! It's fortunately going to be picked up. Whew, that was really scary. Fortunately, it's picked up by his offensive line on a 3rd and 19. As you saw, he wanted to take off up the middle, dumping it short. Kewan Lacey to the 40, to the 35, and that's where he'll go down. And they want us to go for it, so we're going to go for it. Probably should switch sides of the field for this particular play. Want to run 3 receivers to the short side. Chambliss now back to pass. Trinidad fired right side, incomplete, and an injury to a defensive lineman. But incomplete is the play. And that might be enough. We shall see. I'm just going to stay in coach mode because the cutscenes are driving me crazy. And at least allowing me to just call the coach suggestions plays will allow us to get it through it faster. Beck, dump it right side. First down. Keelan Marion again. He's played well. And next, Beck has got another first down throw and catch. He's hurt. Somebody injured? Oh, this guy. He has a arm injury. Oh, left arm probably. Alarm injury. Silly knee. Quick throw for a yard. They are, George. Welcome in. Good to have you on, by the way. Quick little swing pass to the left side. Mark Fletcher. Watch out. 50, 45, another first down for the Hurricanes. Again, it was 10-3 at the end of the first quarter, and then they kicked field goal, field goal, field goal, field goal. They got it all the way to 19-3 with field goals, and then were able to finally punch one in the paint, and that was kind of the kill shot. And Chambliss, we tried to go fast with some coach mode on the last drive, and it did not work. Really surprised Miami's still throwing the football here. They're in shoot clock mode, but they're still throwing on almost every play, which seems wild. First down to Alex Bauman, the tight end. And Bauman's got the first down. Tackle on the play by Ricky Fletcher. But appreciate you being on, George. Appreciate everybody being on. Appreciate all my subscribers. Again, not the Fiesta Bowl that we had hoped to see. I don't think the Fiesta Bowl most of the world thought they were going to see in terms of Georgia and Ohio State being the favorites, but that's why they play the games. And here we are. 26-3, Miami now just 7 minutes away from a national championship. Arguably their most important couple of games since the 2002 season. They lost to Ohio State and seemed to kind of lose their edge, if you will. Sunter and Marine Perkins, top of the line. He has been zip, zilch, nada here today. Over the middle and another throw. They are throwing the ball like crazy. Crazy. Beck up the middle, and this time will be tackled by Harris in the backfield. That's Fletcher. That's tackled there by Harris. 3rd and 8. Motion coming from the tight end, Bauman. Play action. Blitzing, come up the middle, hit as he throws, and guess what? They're going to settle for another field goal. Sunter and Perkins is there. This will make it 29-3, a 26-point lead. That officially takes us to a 4-score game. Bert Auburn is the kicker in the game. He's not actually the kicker in real life. He got benched in real life, if you can believe that. But definitely looking forward to the Indiana and Oregon game. Should be a really good game. Both teams look really good in their semifinal, or their quarterfinal. And it's the Big Ten's world, and we're all just living in it at this point, it feels like. At this point, just especially how Indiana embarrassed Alabama. And I've said it for a while, but as soon as everybody could pay the players, the SEC stopped being the best team in the league because they were the ones doing it first, under the table. $100 handshakes all over the place. Those things are no longer happening. Or in Cam Newton's case, his dad got a church bought for him, right? I'm gonna give him like a $200,000 church with Cam Newton's dad to go to Auburn. Chambliss across the middle, caught by Caden Lee. Caden Lee moving his way past the 20 to the 25, and a first down at the 23-yard line. And they're hustling down again. Chambliss. What a story again. If it ends like this for the kid, it'll be sad as he's going to take a sack, his 5th of the day. But what a season for Trinidad Chambliss. What a story. Yeah, I would say as long as Miami doesn't win at this point, you got to be rooting for either whichever Big Ten team gets in there. Kewan Lacey, can he get out of bounds? He can. Third and 4, Chambliss. We've been running some coach mode here. And he'll fire along to the right side, caught by Caden Lee for a first down. In the no huddle, we've been running some coach mode. Chambliss back to pass. They blitz. Fire to the left side to his tight end, Daquan Wright. Pick up 4. Somebody needs a breather. Touchdown, Trey Wallace. It'll be too little too late, I'm afraid. But good on them for fighting back. Good idea on the coach mode. And a 2-pointer to Kewan Lacey is good. 29-11. That would have to be some scoregami, wouldn't it? I think that would have to be scoregami. So Alex was right. I don't know if he meant to do it. He just said to get Chambliss going, but the coach mode has alleviated the ridiculously long cutscenes, which is the bane of my existence in exhibition mode here. So that part's nice. And on defense, you can just hold L1. Fun fact, you can hold L1 and the player will just do what they're supposed to do. They don't. You used to just stand there, like back in the day when you try to run coach mode on defense. The player would like just stand there if you didn't do anything. Now you can hold the L1 button, and they'll actually like, oh, I'm supposed to run my stunt. Oh, I'm supposed to run this kind of a zone or whatever. We're going to call timeout. We're going to give every effort as though they were our own. We're going to show blitz. We're going to do all kinds of things to confuse them here. Carson back, throwing. They're starting up screen to the right side. Fletcher, he stiff arms his way to a first down. Oh boy, you're not going to want to watch that replay, Kapina Gushikin. The nickel corner just got stiff armed into the next county. Oh boy. Harris, RPO left side, still throwing to Malachi Tony. Why are they still throwing? It makes zero sense to me. Do they even have like a 3-3-5 is the biggest that we get, I guess. So like at some point they're gonna have to start running, right? You don't have a base 4-3 in here, or a bear package or something, and Miami continues to keep throwing the football. Why? That's just mean. Two-minute warning time here in the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Fine, I'm going to blitz you then like crazy if you're not going to run the ball. Just take a knee. Now they'll give it up the middle to Mark Fletcher. And he picks up 6. Appreciate everybody being on. Again, I'll try to do the Indiana-Oregon game a little bit later today. Maybe going to do Cavs, but just not quite ready to transition to that just yet. Still football season. 17th carry for Mark Fletcher. And third down. Let's try to get a stop here. Ole Miss. Oh, motion coming late. And they'll take the pop pass up the middle, and they'll keep him short. Wydett Williams, the strong safety, making the tackle. 29-11 here in the semifinal. Again, running some coach mode here. Great suggestion from one of our subscribers, Alex. Appreciate that. It has helped us alleviate the cutscenes and allowed us to do things like run some hurry up earlier than the game would normally run hurry up. Coach mode just means you pick the play and then you snap it. If you don't touch the controller, then he just throws it to an open receiver like this one, except it's picked off. Frederic will pick it off, and that will probably do it in this one. As they will finally take a knee. So that's it. 29-11 is your final score. The Miami Hurricanes, winners of the Fiesta Bowl. That is not Mario Cristobal. Maybe it is, I guess. Doesn't look like him. But Ole Miss, a great season. There's Pete Golding. He is your coach of the future. Lane Kiffin leaves, of course, because he couldn't win a national championship, and now his Ole Miss Rebels were a game away from getting to it. Unfortunately, that's where it'll stop there for them, at least here on Nagy on Sports. We'll see how the real one goes, just 2 games away from this one happening. All right, guys, this one was a lot of fun. Thanks again so much to my subscribers. Again, you guys are the best. Join me for the other semifinal a little bit later tonight as the old schedule permits. Hope that you are all doing well. We'll do some quick statistical analysis and then get out of this thing. So today for Chambliss, he was 23 of 43 for 277. The 3 interceptions, those were the quarters that we did not watch. Clearly were not what we needed. Lacey today, 13 for 76. Chambliss, 11 for 37. Even he was sacked 5 times, so that would tell you how many yards he actually ran for. Lee was 7 for 118. Trey Wallace had the touchdown, 4 for DeQuan Wright, 4 for Lacey out of the backfield, and Stribling just had 3 catches on his own. Leading tackler, Wydett Williams, and 10 for Daugherty, the middle linebacker. 2 sacks for Eccles, 1 for Suntarine Perkins, 1 for Jamarius Brown. Actually got hurt, and then they did not turn over the Hurricanes at all. Speaking of those Hurricanes, Carson Beck today, 37 of 55. I was so surprised he kept throwing at the end. 363, just 1 touchdown in this one. Again, they settled for so many field goals. 18 for 82 and a touchdown for Mark Fletcher. And this one, 10 catches for Keelan Marion, 9 for 72 and the 1 touchdown for Malachi Tony, 7 for CJ Daniels. So their top targets definitely getting involved in this one. Their leading tackler today was Keontae Scott, a very talented nickel corner. He had 10. He also had a half sack. Reuben Bain, Justin Scott, Keontae Scott, David Blay, and Ahmad Moten. But the 3 picks by Ethan O'Connor, Keontae Scott, and O.J. Frederic ultimately made the biggest difference. Plus, they also had a forced fumble that was not recovered. And also, just because I never show these things, this kid today was 5 for 5, Bert Auburn was today, including a long of 50. And that's how we ended up with 29-11, and that's how this semifinal will come to a close. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Next time today we'll say go Hurricanes, go Bucks, and as always, go